Alright, it's Yap 30. So, I'm just like pressing the record button and starting yapping because I always want to plan everything out perfectly and get everything lined up, but it always makes me end up like not doing anything. So, I just stepped out here and pressed the record button. Today, I wanted to talk about the terminology barrier. And so, what kind of sparked this is I listen to Neville Goddard a lot and similar authors like Florence Scovel and Charles Hannell and the like, and the Bible. And okay, yeah, what really sparked this is I was at church group the other night and I was like watching the video that they had on the screen, and I was like, man, y'all really believe this shit? But it's not that like what they're teaching is wrong. It's just that the way the words they're using, I like interpret them slightly differently. And so when I hear it, I'm like what? And so it just highlighted this terminology barrier that I always notice. And basically what that means is like everybody understands the same words a little bit differently. And so before you have a discussion about especially like some spiritual, like deep consciousness shit, you gotta have this baseline like agreement on what the terms you're speaking about mean. Like a big one is the word God. Another one is consciousness. Like, if you're trying to have these discussions without agreeing on the definition that you're discussing about, then you're not going to agree because you're not talking about the same thing, even though you're using the same word. And so, yeah, I just kind of wanted to make this video to kind of highlight that. Like, anytime you're having a spiritual discussion with somebody, like, it's very important to have that agreement on what the terms you're using mean. This is another thing. I ask people all the time when I have these discussions, I'm like, hold on, what do you think God means? And they're like, I don't know. Like, okay. I think it's important to really dive into this stuff and try to get to the bottom of it, because it's so satisfying to me to like understand more and more what's really going on. I mean, we're in this crazy ass video game, and if you don't understand the rules, then like it's hard to play. So like there's a plethora of different rule books for you to research. And when you look at a bunch of different ones, like I think like Neville Goddard and the Bible and the Kabbalion and things of the like, they're all pointing towards the same thing. But it's like people from all different reaches of the planet are all trying to describe this one thing that can barely be described in words. And if people don't have the same definition of the words, then it's impossible to even have the discussion anyway, you know? So that's why it's kind of like everybody's walk is going to be different, and that's what makes it cool, you know? You can't do the same thing as any other. Hold on. This happens every time I'm outside. A leaf will fall on me, and it's just my little nature's gift. It makes me like, it's like God is like thanking me for coming outside. Every time I come outside, a leaf falls on my head or in my hand. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, everybody's walk is different, and that's what makes it cool. Like, everybody's a different character in this video game, and everyone's experience is interesting. Like, whether it be more bad or more good, like, that's all perspective anyway. So that's why you kind of gotta, like, figure out a way to turn that into what you think is good, you know? It's kind of like what I was talking about in the sheep's head video. I'd be out on that pier, it's so windy and cold, not catching anything for hours, and I'm just like if I was a little twerp, I would just be out there like,
man, God, I guess God doesn't want me to catch fish.
But instead I was like, bro, God just saving that shit for when I finally catch one. I'm gonna be like in pure ecstasy, bro. I'm gonna be like so happy. And then that feeling of me catching that fish is like, that's one of the feelings I return to when I think about like what it feels like to actually be happy. That is like one of the highlighted experiences in my life. It's that moment. And I have plenty of those, but that's just like the most recent one that's really stuck with me, because I tried so hard for like days and weeks, not consecutively, but just the amount of time and effort and growth that I put into that experience, and then it finally happened. And then I turned that sheep's head into some beautiful fish stock and sheep's head and Kaneka gumbo. And it was like the best gumbo I've ever eaten. And it just keeps getting better, you know? It's like what I was talking about, the little surprises. If y'all have any video ideas, any topics y'all want me to touch on, y'all want me to yap more in depth about, drop it in the comments. And this terminology barrier, if you want me to yap more in depth about that too, I can. I'm gonna have to think a little bit more about it. But I don't.